Hello and welcome for this week's top 5. This top 5 will be top 5 Elite Four members. And this top 5, as for any of my top 5, will be based on my opinion, based on a combination of things that I love about the characters. If you don't agree, please leave your own top 5 in the comment section below. And let's get this discussion going. Without further ado, additionally, if you do enjoy my content, please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon and anime related content. Without further ado, let's go on and start with number 5. Number 5, Marshall from the 5th generation games. And then there's really nothing strong. There's no other strong or very imposing fighting type Elite Four aside from Marshall. That is, I mean, depending on how you challenge him, like he could be the final Elite Four for the Gen 5. Rocking that throw. I mean, throw for me. Throw is a Nuzlocke Ender for me because when I did a Pokemon Black and White Nuzlocke back in the day, throw actually wiped my entire team up. So by just starting off with a throw, you know that's gonna be a powerhouse. And then there's also Sock. He's rocking a Sock for his normal first battle pre-national Dex team. And of course, I freaking love these two Pokemon as well, Mienshao and Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is just one of those mon, like, just screams imposing, my dude. Like, it's literally the most imposing fighting type. Always carrying those boulders with them. Like, I freaking love the static for Conkeldurr, and with sheer force no less. So for me, I freaking love his pre-national Pokédex first battle team. So therefore, the rematch would be in post-national Dex. The rematch team would be he's rocking a Breloom. Throw again, it's an imposing Pokemon, and it's Sock with Toxicroak, Mienshao, and the Conkeldurr. He literally still keeping the Conkeldurr, bro. The Conkeldurr is one of my favorite Gen 5 fighting type Pokemon. So yes, definitely one of my favorite. And of course, he added a Toxicroak for shits and giggles. I love freaking Toxicroak as well. And then the first battle in the Pokemon Black and White 2 is throw again. He kept the throw after all those years. And then Sock, Mienshao, and Conkeldurr. The first battle challenge mode, again keeping that throw, he loves that throw. And then Sock, Mienshao, Lucario, and Conkeldurr. Rematch in easy mode. Of course, I love the fact when did Pokemon not have the easy and the challenge, but I freaking love that mode, by the way. Like, that mode is definitely one of my favorite in Pokemon Black and White in the 5th generation games. Yeah, that rematch in easy mode. Again, he kept a lot of his team. He added a Medicham. Forgive me there. He kept the Lucario. He's keeping the Lucario and the Mienshao and the Conkeldurrs, but he add a freaking Medicham, which is, I'm really not a huge fan of Medicham by all means, but again, with high jump kick, ice punch, fire punch, that's all the coverage he needs, like right there. And then the rematch for challenge mode, he replaced it's the same team, but instead of a Medicham, he got himself the forearm beast Machamp. So yes, I freaking love overall aesthetic. The team is imposing. I freaking love everything about Marshall. One of the strongest fighting type Pokemon. And as you may know, I freaking love the fighting type Pokemon in general. So yes, number 5 on the list would be Marshall from the 5th generation. This cannot be a top 5 characters list without some waifu appreciation. I feel like every list is gonna be there's gonna be that one character I put that is a complete waifu. Like Karen from the 2nd generation games, just looking so kissable right there. Oh my god, she looks gorgeous, bro. And then the team in general is really nothing to laugh at, because her team in Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, he's rocking the Umbreon, which is Umbreon alone. Like, that can be a great stall tactics, a troll tactic. I freaking love using Umbreon itself. And then, yes, she also, which is a primarily stall tactic. Oh my goodness. With Stun Spore, Acid, with a Vileplume carrying Stun Spore, Acid, Petal Dance, and Moonlight. Yo, she's carrying primarily stall tactics. And then, of course, there's also Murkrow, which I feel like that's definitely going to be a Honchkrow in the 4th gen remakes. And then Gengar, of course, you all know about Gengar. She has a Gengar, a stall tactic Gengar, but regardless, it's a Gengar. It's a freaking the most imposing ghost types there is. And then your ace would be Houndoom, which is for me it's a really, really underrated Pokemon. Surprisingly enough, I love myself a Houndoom, and I think I made top 5 Ghost and Dark type in the past, and one of those is definitely a Houndoom, which I really, really love the design of having a Hellhound for a Pokemon. So I freaking love that. And then that's for the Gold and Silver Crystal. For the first battle in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, we have she kept Umbreon, of course, because Umbreon is awesome sauce right there. And then there's the Vileplume. She kept the Vileplume, and then the Murkrow was here, and then his Gengar, still the Stally tactics because I freaking love that kind of tactics. And then Houndoom. Well, it's nothing to scoff at. It's really, really nothing to scoff at. It's a really stally team, but I also love it because there's a lot of cool Pokemon I love, like Umbreon, Gengar, Houndoom. I freaking love it. And then his rematch team is where it gets serious, because he essentially ditched a lot of her stally team for something more offensive, like a Weavile with an Ice Punch, Night Slash, and Low Kick. Like, seriously, there's a very offensive Pokemon, and there's also the defensive Absol with Detect. Although Detect in Perish Song is really nothing defensive. Absol is probably one of the weakest Dark types in my opinion. And then there's also freaking Spiritomb. She got herself a freaking Spiritomb with Curse, Confuse Ray, Pain Split, Sucker Punch, and she's keeping the Houndoom. Like, surprisingly, she keeps the Houndoom, despite the fact that Houndoom is probably one of the weakest Fire and Dark type, weak Dark and a weak Fire type. And then, of course, I knew it. It's gonna be a Honchkrow eventually, that rematch. And then, of course, she's skipping the Umbreon because Umbreon is awesome sauce. So, for team-wise, I love the team-wise, the aesthetic, and she's freaking gorgeous. So, yes, number 4, just for the design, team, I love Karen, number 4 on my list. Let's proceed to number 3 is Drake. Firstly, the thing that I love about Drake, probably one of the things I love is his lore. He's a freaking treasure hunter / seafarer. Probably one of the most underappreciated Pokemon trainer class in Pokemon. I freaking love that he's a seafaring treasure hunter kind of aesthetic esque character. That's primarily one that I love about Drake. And he even made an appearance in the Pokemon anime. Like, one of the few Elite Four that actually made an appearance in the anime, which I loved, and they should do that more. So, the team, in general, is freaking... I love his team. It's actually a relatively power team now that I'm looking at it. Freaking... In Pokemon Ruby Sapphire, he has... Definitely in the rematch, I feel like it's Shogun. He has a Shogun that's definitely going to be a Salamence. And then he has a Altaria, Flygon, which is a very underappreciated, overshadowed kind of Dragon type 2 Flygon, as a matter of fact. And then a Salamence, which is definitely an ace, because I think correct me if I'm wrong, but Salamence is definitely one of those pseudo-legendary, or either that or overused Pokemon. One of those things. Yeah, Salamence, definitely his ace there. And then in Pokemon Emerald, definitely my favorite team overall is, of course, he kept his Shelgon, his Altaria, his Flygon, and Salamence, and then he swapped his Flygon for one of his Flygon for a Kingdra, which is one of my favorite dragon types, surprisingly enough, because before 6th gen, freaking, there's really nothing you could do against a Kingdra, because Kingdra, the only weakness for dragon types back in those days before 6th gen is ice type, and since he's water type, he essentially resists one of his major typing, is he neutralizes it. So for me, one of the most powerful dragon types before 6th gen. So yes, that's why I love Kingdra overall. So, and just the aesthetic of a seahorse as well. So yes, I do prefer his team in Pokemon Emerald more than the Pokemon Ruby Sapphire. So yes, and then in initial battle for Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, he kept his Altaria and Flygon, and then Kingdra is also, he kept those because Kingdra is still a powerhouse despite the fact that Fairy type now is a thing. And then there's also the Flygon and the Salamence. And then the rematch, oh, he didn't keep a lot of his Pokemon. He kept Altaria, Flygon, Kingdra, and Salamence, but he changed into Dragalge. He added a Dragalge and Haxorus, which is, for me, I don't have any opinion about Dragalge. The fact that Dragalge can resist one of his weaknesses, which is the fairy typing, I like that, but overall, the one that I'm finding over is freaking Haxorus. Haxorus, definitely one of the most overshadowed dragon type in 5th gen, mainly because Hydreigon is more popular. So yes, overall, just the aesthetic, just his lore background, I freaking love Drake. So yes, number 3, enough to be putting on my number 3, my top 5 Elite Four. Let's proceed into number 2, Flint. I mean, he just has an Infernape. I mean, he won my heart by just having an Infernape. Of course. Oh, freaking course. I don't even have to talk about the remaining team. I just have to say his ace is an Infernape. Because, yes, that's it. That's apparently enough for me to fawn over him and put him to number 2 spot. I could talk about his connection and how he foreshadowed freaking Volkner. My number one favorite gym leader, aesthetic wise and lore wise. I could talk about his connection with Volkner, many other things, how he appeared in the anime, but for the simple, I just want to put it the simplest way possible. And the reason he's in number 2, he has an Infernape as an ace. he has an Infernape, the only one in the 4th gen, I think, in general, aside from Lance, which is number 1. Spoiler alert, he's the only one that has, one of the only ones that actually have starter in the team, and I don't care. I love the fact that he has an Infernape. So yes, so be simple about this. Flint, number 2 in my top 5 Elite Four. Number 1, the Dragon type trainer that has no Dragon type aside from Dragonite. Because it's really difficult, because in 1st gen, it's not justifiable that they put, because there's only like one evolution line for Dragon type. So of course it's gonna have any repeat or only one Dragon type, and the rest are just flying types, essentially speaking. So for me, I just want to put just the fact that he strived to be a Dragon type, despite the fact that there's only one evolutionary line for dragons back in 1st gen. But then again, he did have a lot of upgrades throughout the generations. Like in 3rd gen, he has a Kingdra, and in freaking freaking 7th gen, he has a freaking what you call it? A freaking executor. Like he does experience a lot of upgrade, bro. Like he has experienced more upgrades than your typical Brunos, Agathas, because now he has more option. But then again, he always sticks with the Dragonite because, of course, I love my Dragonites as well, because Dragonites is that goofy goober of a dragon type that you don't think much at first, but then again, you evaluate it and you say, ooh, it's actually it's a pretty darn good Pokemon. So yes, Dragonite, one of my favorite dragons, known for using Dragonite, just an imposing character overall. Lance is up there with the best of them, with the best of champions, with the best of the Elite Four. So yes, Lance is right here where he belongs, at number 1 spot in my top 5 Elite Four. Without ado, see you guys next time for my top 5 champion.